Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini online, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. I want to start with a quick little movie review. I saw Rogue One, a Star Wars story, over the weekend, and I enjoyed it. My husband did not enjoy it. He was not enthusiastic. I could tell he did not really care about this movie. A, because he told me he didn't. He was not. He's like, I don't care. I like Star Wars, but I'm not like super excited for this. And I knew that he really didn't care because he agreed to go to a 3D showing with me, because he hates 3D, as you know. And I love it. So the fact that he went to a 3D screening, let me drag him to 3D, shows he really didn't care. And he did not like it at all. He's just really tired of the flashbacks. He is done with prequels. He wants the story to move on. So, you know, he wants to go and do The Force Awakens and beyond. Like, he wants that. He wants to see what happens next. He doesn't want to keep going back. I mean, the problem was that they could only go back because George Lucas wouldn't let them go forward, but now they can. And he was excited about that, but then it's like, but here's another look back. And he's like, why do I care about the stolen Death Star plans? We know what happens to them. We saw Star Wars. So what's the point of this movie? And I'm like, the point of this movie is an adventure, and you see what happens. And I personally don't mind. You can tell me Star Wars stories from anywhere in the timeline, and I will give it a shot. I just want a good movie, you know? Not like the prequels, because those prequels were not, I did not enjoy them. And I will say that Rogue One has a really rough start. There's like a nice little intro prologue, which is like fine, but then all of a sudden, it's a mess. You're going from planet to planet, there's all these characters, no one's getting proper introductions, you don't know what's going on. I was completely overwhelmed, and I'm sitting there watching it going, oh my god, I feel like I'm watching one of the prequels where all they're doing is talking about bureaucracy and politics, and I'm like, no, that's not why I'm here. I want a nice adventure that I can follow from start to finish with, you know, a mission that makes sense, and we're going to go here, and we're going to do this, and have an adventure along the way. And once they eventually got to that point, and the plot solidified, and they were moving properly, everything was great. And the ending is, like, the climactic battles are just, like, spectacular, especially in 3D. I don't know if I probably still would have been into it, but I feel like I was more into it because of the 3D and the ships flying around and everything. It was great. The only problem is that these characters are not, like, aside from the main character of Jyn Erso, like, I could not tell you anyone else's name. Like, not only did they not really develop them very much as characters, like, there's this whole group that goes on this mission, and they don't really develop them, and I couldn't tell you anybody's name, except for Jyn's, because she's the main character. Everyone else, hot pilot guy, no idea. The Asian ninja guy, kind of stereotypical there, it's a little weird, but okay, no idea. His friend, no idea. The other one, Goggles, because he wears goggles on his head, I called him Goggles. Like, I don't know his name either. So they could have done a little better job of developing these characters and actually making me remember their names, maybe. But overall, as an adventure, I thought it was great. And that might just be the Star Wars fan in me talking, because there's a bit of fan service scattered throughout. And especially the ending is like Star Wars nirvana. So, there's that. But no spoilers. They get the plans. Yeah, so if you're a Star Wars fan, check it out. I'm sure you already have. I'll be very curious to see how this movie does. Like, you know, because The Force Awakens was like a sequel, and it was like a big deal. And I feel like they're trying to make this a big deal, but I feel like most people are like my husband, who's like, meh, I'm not interested. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone beyond hardcore Star Wars fans goes to see this. It'll probably still be the #1 movie, but just curious. moving on to video games, last week I received an email from Nintendo. Well, I heard that people were getting these emails to these invitation to try the Switch, and I was like, I didn't get one, that's so mean. And then I checked my spam folder and it was in there. It was because I'm a My Nintendo member, I got invited to check out the Nintendo Switch at an early preview event, and to keep an eye out for the Eventbrite invite to actually sign up. So I basically all week was like obsessively checking my email so that I wouldn't miss it, because I knew that it would fill up quickly and I need to get there as quickly as possible. And when I saw the email finally show up, and it was literally like moments, maybe minutes, and I clicked the link, and there were slots on Friday and Saturday, and every single slot was full. Like, every time I clicked a time slot, it was like registration is closed. And I was like, oh well. It's also previewing on Sunday, but that Sunday is the day that's open to the general public, which means there's going to be a line that goes like around the block 4 times, and I'm just like, I don't think that's really worth it. Like, I want to check it out, but I'm like, I don't want to spend my entire Sunday standing in a line, and then maybe not even get to check it out. So, boo. And it's also painful because knowing if Gay Gamer was still around, I would have gotten a proper media invite to the special media event, like I did for the 3DS and the Wii U, where I can go and I can play a bunch of different games and get my hands on the system and really, you know, enjoy it and really get impressions of it, you know, as opposed to a fan event where you're going to get to play for like 2 minutes and done. But there is no more Gay Gamer, so I am now just a fan, like everyone else, and I could not get in. So, oh well, I will not be checking out the Switch early. Although, I'm assuming they're going to do like what they did with the Wii and the Wii U and then the 3DS and stuff, and they'll have Switch stations at Nintendo World, so, you know, I can just go by and check it out. I mean, obviously there will be lines in the beginning, but then it'll, like, settle down, and then I can, like, actually go and be like, oh, well, I'll just check out the Switch there. But that probably won't be for a while. February, maybe. Or very close to its launch in March. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to get one at launch. It depends on the launch titles that are announced, because I have heard now it seems that Zelda, which is the one I really, really want, and everybody really, really wants, is not going to be a launch title now. I don't know how late it's going to be. I don't know if it'll be a launch window title, which, depending on the company, the launch window can be like 3 months. But if that's what I want it for, so, like, I feel like I'm not going to get a Switch until Zelda is released, and then maybe there'll be a bundle of the Switch with Zelda in it and everything, and I can just get that. But it depends. There might be something at launch that I'll be like, woo woo woo, I want to play that. I mean, there is a part of me that's tempted because I think that they're doing Skyrim for the Switch, and that's going to be a launch title. And I have always wanted an Elder Scrolls game that I could play portably. So that might be enough to get me to get one at launch, but we'll see. I may not want to deal with all the launch brouhaha, so we'll see. Because I'm still enjoying my PlayStation and my Xbox One. But, segue. I have actually been playing quite a bit of Sleeping Dogs, which I mentioned before, that I tried to take a break from No Man's Sky and play a different video game. And it was free for Xbox Live Gold, so I downloaded it. And I had already had it, I had downloaded it onto my 360, but I hadn't really played it that much. And so now I think I'm past where I was, because now I feel like I'm seeing missions that I'm like, this isn't familiar to me, so I think I might have passed where I was. Like, I didn't play it that much there. But I have actually been playing it quite a bit, and I've been enjoying it. I think because you're an undercover cop, there's like the triad criminal missions, and then there's the cop missions, so that you like, you swap back and forth between them, and that helps keep things from getting too repetitive, I think. Even though it is basically just, drive here, shoot these people, fight this gang of people, whatever. That gets a little repetitive, but I'm still enjoying it, so, and it's still moving in a clip, and I haven't gotten bogged down in side quests and things. I'm trying not to let myself get too bogged down in side stuff, because then I lose track of the main mission. That's what happens in these kind of open-worldy games. But I'm enjoying it, especially because I recently bought a new outfit for my character. There's tons of clothes that you can do, some of which are a little bit ridiculous and outrageous, and like the little judo thong, which I couldn't play the game with that because it would be too distracting. I wouldn't be able to concentrate because you'd have this naked guy in front of you, basically. All the really cool clothes, you have to have a face level of 4 to wear them, and I only just now got to 3, so I still can't wear the really cool clothes, but I'm like, I need something better than just a tank top and jeans. So I finally got a brown leather jacket, which is pretty cool, and I enjoy it because now it kind of looks like I'm playing an unofficial Shenmue sequel, which I sort of enjoy. But what this has done is it has also reminded me that there is one thing that the PlayStation 4 does way better than the Xbox One, and I'm not talking about graphics, I'm talking about sharing. I had forgotten how difficult Microsoft makes it to share screenshots and video clips. It's insane. I mean, it wasn't until I finally got my PlayStation 4 that I realized, I'm like, this share button is wonderful. Like, I never really considered it, but now I'm like, this is great. You just press a button, and it takes a screenshot, or you hold it down, and it records a video. It's amazing. It's so much better than on the Xbox, where you have to actually press the X home button twice, quickly, and then press a button to take a screenshot, or a different button to take a video. That's actually one place where the Kinect microphone comes in somewhat handy, because you can just say, take a screenshot, record that, and it'll do it. So that's a little more helpful. Although it's been so long since I've done it that after a really cool scene happened in Sleeping Dogs, I tried to record it, and it turned out that it just recorded, like, from where I said record. It started recording, and I was like, no. Like, something happened when, like, it updated the system at some point, and it, like, reset the settings for, like, recording video and taking screenshots, and I'm just like, what the hell? But then, on the PlayStation, you can easily snap a screenshot or take a video, like, super easy, and then you can press share again, and you can be like, I want it to go on Facebook, I want it to go on Twitter, I want it to go on YouTube, I want it to go wherever. Like, it gives you the options, and then I have been taking so many screenshots with No Man's Sky, because it's so beautiful. And I mean, there are some planets where it's hard to get anything done, because I'm constantly stopping to take beautiful pictures of the scenery. And I can upload those directly to Twitter, no problem, whereas on the Xbox, you have to upload it to, if you can directly upload to Twitter, but it uploads it as a link, not the picture. It's not as good, like, it's not an easy, like, here's my photo on Twitter. It's actually, it like, embeds a link in the tweet, and it shows the picture, but still, it's like, that's not as cool, because you have to click the link to see it. It's annoying. So, if you want to actually just directly post a picture on your Twitter, you have to upload to your OneDrive, and then go from there and copy it onto your Twitter. Download it from your OneDrive, and then upload it to Twitter or Facebook or wherever you want. But it's so annoying, because, like, uploading a screenshot onto OneDrive, for whatever reason, I've noticed, like, I'll be like, oh, that's a good screenshot. Like, that screenshot that I showed you earlier in this video with the leather jacket, it like, drags. I'm like, it's a screenshot. Why can I see the percentage bar filling up? It's absurd. So, Xbox One is sort of annoying for sharing, but what are you going to do? So now I feel like if there's a game that I want to play that's available on Xbox One or PlayStation 4, I'm probably more likely to play it on PlayStation 4 just because if I want to share screenshots or video from it, it'll just be way easier. So the only thing I'd buy on my Xbox One would be like exclusives that I can't get on PlayStation, and those are few and far between. So I'm afraid other than Dance Central and Rock Band, and obviously Sleeping Dogs right now, my Xbox One is going to be starting to collect some dust more than my PlayStation, which is unusual because I feel like my 360 got a lot more play than my PlayStation 3. But, oh well. I try to be agnostic. I try to own all the systems because they all have their pluses and minuses. So, I own a little bit of everything. I try to stay equal, you know? No preferences here. So, that's it for now. This has gone on way too long. I will see you next week, where I will talk about something else. We'll see what that is. Come back next week and find out. Bye!